Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today the plan is to go into the Countess's courtyard again. I want to be safe about how I'm doing this, so I'm just setting up the courtyard. I don't know if the group I want is going to be ready for this, because I thought about bringing Rex, who I'd like his stress down a little more, and a few other heroes if I'm being honest. And well, their stress is kinda on the higher side, so I'm not sure about if I'm gonna be doing the Countess after I set things up. This group is literally just to get myself through the red gate and to the wine crate so I can pick up from there, get the camp, go to the Duchess, camp right before the Duchess, and do the fight the next time I'm able. So I'm not sure what we'll be doing after I set things up, but this is what the group is for. So here we have Evelyn the Ripperkin. She's really just meant to maim the few fights that we have and kind of get through them quickly. So we have Rip and Tear. This gets rid of any protection the few enemies might have. Blood is fuel to do high damage, breaking, bypassing guard, doing bleed, and Bloody Gust if I need it just to do AoE bleed. We have her Crimson Courtyard set, so this gives her higher speed, higher bleed amount. However, it will give her lower death blow resistance. Then we have Futile Struggle, giving her armor piercing, accuracy, and damage versus bleeding. The set gives her higher damage received, however it does give her even more speed for a grand total of 15 speed and 30 bleed resistance, so she now has 150 bleed resistance, so it will be very hard to bleed her. Next up, Ghost the Vessel, just because he can do a lot of damage, armor piercing with piercing slash, lacerating cyclone, doing a little bit of a bleed, crippling lunge if I want to bypass guard, lowering dodge. He has Mark of Pride upping his accuracy, damage, and crit, and then the Ancestor's Pen upping his crit and damage once again. Marar the Highwayman doing Duelist Advance and a Open Vein just for the bleed and riposte. He has Ancestor's Letter Opener upping his accuracy and on-hit bleed, and the Scoundrel's Teeth for even more damage, accuracy, and bleed chance. Finally, Maudit the Legion, because I don't really like the Sycophants, and Killer Bow absolutely destroys Sycophants because plus 200% damage versus flying enemies, this will absolutely destroy them. So that turns Tomahawk into Killer Bow after the first attack. That's mainly what we're going to be doing, but we do need another action, so I do have Panic, Last Laugh, and Overwhelm. This also gives him plus 7% crit, plus 15 accuracy when he's in position 4, which he hopefully will stay in, and then the Cracked Mask, minusing his accuracy a little bit, plus 14 crit. However, on range attack hit, which he will be using most of the time, he gets plus 5 accuracy per enemy alive, and on crit plus 10 more accuracy. And because we have a full set, he gets plus 30% more max HP, so he is very, very tanky. So with that being said, let's go and essentially set things up here. I'm not going to fight the Countess once again, just for safety's sake. We'll see how this goes. I don't need many supplies, and I'm just gonna go do the few fights and then get to the wine crate like I said. Alright, so where am I technically here? So, oh, I ended in a hallway. I didn't realize that. And also I forgot the blood, but that's fine technically. So if we go up, this should be a fight. That is a Crimson Court Trinket, and this surprise is not great. So feed the beast, and then we can move forward with Rip and Tear. And we can get the Supplicant. If I do Tearing Shadows to go back, Crippling Lunge to move forward, let's hit the Steward so he doesn't guard anyone. And then we're going to Duelist Advance, hitting the Steward.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Gonna get a little bit of a post there. Stun is not great. Let's do piercing slash, hitting the supplicant, taking him out.
Continue the onslaught.
Panic.
Them all.
That gives me killer bow. And then we're stunned.
The horror.
Then we can blood as fuel, take out Courtesan.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Crippling lunge once again, taking out Chev. Pistol shot Chev, hoping to take him out.
Ringing
Oy
ears.
vey.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Tomahawk won't hit him, and Panic won't take him out. So let's get rid of a corpse here. I have a plan. As long as the Chev doesn't go first, then just nail strike him and he's down.
As the enemy crumbles.
There we go. Hey Merard, buddy, pal, you doing alright there? We can basically use all the food. We can then give her the blood that we just got. Default party order. And then Forgotten Strongbox. Red hook for the Kraken Slayer that we no longer have. If we go up, there should be a red gate to use the key on, and that's when we're going to start doubling back. And torch for the accuracy. I'm not sure what's going to happen in this fight. Oh, another ambush. I really should have brought something for scouting. They're not having a good time. Ripperkin hit the Sycophant. Even with plus accuracy, we missed there. Let's do Crippling Lunge, hit the... This minus his dodge. So let's go at the Steward.
Obliterated.
If we didn't take it out, we would have gotten the minus dodge. I can do Killer Bow and hit the Sycophant Hive. Really? He's not considered flying? Huh. I would have thought he would have been considered flying. Pistol shot, just because I don't want the Ripperkin in 4.
How quickly the tide turns.
That hits rather hard. And stress. And stun. Ripperkin again. Piercing slash, moving back, hopefully taking out the Hive.
Cursed champion falls.
Tomahawk won't hit 1, but we can Tearing Shadows to move back. I mean, that is what I was gonna do, so cool. Tomahawk, or Killer Bow rather. Piercing slash, and that's that. Taking everything.
Seize this momentum.
We are going to get rid of the Ring of the Snake for the Sapphire there, just in case we get more. I'm gonna eat until we're full on everyone here for the health. Key of Anger there. And that should be the last fight. Now, all I wanted to do was go back to this room here, or this hallway, I think it was. A few hallways back. That is where the shovel is. I'm going to de-stress Evelyn here. I'm not sure I'm gonna use her. But if I do, it would be nice to have her, like, fully de-stressed. And then we're essentially set up. Hunger check. Up we go. Oh, this is not where I thought it was, so it's up a little bit more. Good thing I brought extra shovels to take more out of here. We do not need the torches. I'm not gonna need the medicinal herbs anymore. So it's up a few more hallways. But it's still worth going back to. And this is gonna stress us out just a tad. Okay, this is what we came back for. I think I can get a little bit out of this curio though.
Glittering gold.
Taking everything here.
Paid for in blood.
And then we'll double back going to this curio. Just so I can take those extra heirlooms. Because I want that wine crate. I want the wine crate. Okay. So that's all I wanted from this group. They did their job perfect. So we're going to retreat to the Hamlet.
You cannot learn a thing you think you know.
Just 3,000 gold, a bunch of heirlooms. I was not expecting to take that many back, actually. So we got 4 portraits, 16 deeds, 4 busts, and 32 crusts. No one cheat, diurnal, and scopophobia, so nothing bad on the quirk side there, thankfully.
An eternity of futile struggle.
A lot of de-stressing done.
For my unspeakable transgressions.
Maudit, Marard, Ghost, all can go in stress relief. Gonna have Evelyn go to the... she only has like 430. I think she'll recover all of that. I did want Rex to get some stress relief, so maybe we throw him in. And then we should... Oh, and Scotland needs some stress relief. Otherwise, I think we're fine. So let's take a look at everything here. So I'm gonna build a group here quick and just see what I would want from... what a group would look like, rather, that's fighting the Countess. Celine is going. That's non-negotiable. It's a little unfortunate that she doesn't have the Crimson Curse, because Letter of Contrition and then Tainted Visage both kind of go along with the fact that she would get a lot of extra damage, because I kind of wanted to use this set on her, plus 100% damage versus the Countess and plus crit versus the Countess. This set is like made for her, but she doesn't have the Crimson Curse. So I'm thinking that I'm still going to use Nobusuma's Glare. I was actually also thinking maybe using the human form and do Bent Blade Cracked Fencing Helmet. This way, should have some dodge, have some protection. I'd go straight into Challenger's Reprisal for the riposte, and then do Iron Maiden for the plus protection minus crits received, and just dance this. And that, I mean, that would actually be really, really good on the boss, because on riposte hit minus damage minus crit. On melee hit while human minus damage minus crit on the boss. So I'd be really debuffing the boss a lot. I'm gonna look up the boss's debuff resistance and bleed resistance here quick, because I can't remember that offhand. Debuff is 120. So realistically, this would only have a 40% chance of going off. Yikes. Maybe we don't do that. The other unfortunate part here then is, say I went Nobusuma's Glare for the, because she has 25 dodge for the accuracy, and then I still went Crimson Downpour build because she is large. This has a 150, so it has a 30% chance of going off. Then I would need something like Heretic Scripture or Maciac's Head to make sure the debuff goes off, which might be the better play then. And that also means Sahar probably isn't the best play with the plus damage received, because we're not getting much plus debuff on her unless we use another trinket like that. With just this right here, we have plus bleeding and plus bleeding received, and we have either a bleed with Razor Swipe or go for the throat. I was thinking maybe Robin, and that way I keep adding to the bleed with Weight of Failure and Foxfang, and I also have Armor Piercing for when she goes into various modes. But then I can do the other 8 tails for the debuff chance, or the plus dodge, so we don't get hit as often. Then who would be the 4th? Because realistically, I can't just have someone that's good in row 4, they need to be good in multiple rows. And that's my problem with this fight. I could have Picard because he has the guard dog, but also Hound Harry, Hound Rush. I want to say Evelyn, but if she gets stuck in row 1, or row 4 rather, we're screwed. That might be the call, is just go in with this. That way I do have the guard. If I do this, I probably go in with Protective Collar. That way I get the plus dodge, and then I can spam guard dog if need be. And then I go with Ironforged Wheellock for the armor piercing, and then I give him the blood charm so he has extra armor piercing versus bleeding, extra damage versus bleeding. I didn't get rid of Dipsomania, shoot. Oh well, I'll have to live with that. Alright, let's go do this. Actually, before we go in, I want to double check one thing that might give me a somewhat silly advantage. Here we are. Curse Research Facility has a Church Expansion. Bless the Cure to grant strength versus unholy and bloodsuckers. There we go. I might use that on Robin. I knew that was going to come in handy, just not the way I thought it was going to be. So originally, I was going to use the Trophy Hunter instead of Robin here, and I still think that's the right call to do, but let's actually get some of the camping skills here. I think I can just go do it with Robin and I'm going to be okay. Mainly because she fills somewhat the same role. I think she has slightly lower damage. I'm not sure who her damage is equivalent to, and she's going to do slightly less with the other 8 tails equipped, but she is going to be doing more bleeding damage to make up for that. And because Celine is doing Crimson Downpour, that bleed damage does a lot more. So it's one of those things of like, yes, I'm doing less damage of a hit, but that bleed damage is such a thing. So I think it'll even out. Alright, here we are. Let's go get this. So if I do beat her, I do get the Countess's Fan Trophy. It's not something I'm going to be using on this estate, but it is a very good trinket. Plus 2 flat healing done, plus 30% healing received, but minus 15% bleed resistance. And then I would also get the Tin Flute, which is plus 7 crit, plus 15 protection, and on crit all heroes minus 2 stress. Let's go take out the Countess. I am taking extra food, just in case I run into anything on the way there. So I'm going to take all the food. I doubt anything's going to happen with shovels that I'm going to need. And then we're just going to take all the supplies. Torches, just because accuracy. Holy waters for resistances. Actually, what I should do is this. That gives me a few extra uses of stuff. Then I can bring Amphitheater for the movement resistance. I don't think that's going to work on her shuffle, but it also gives me minus stress received. I'm going to need a cure for Robin. I want Anathemums for the debuff chance. So, just very quick checking here. I need one for Robin, right? No, I don't. Okay, so I need one for Celine and I need one for Picard. So Anathenum, so I can debuff easier. That's for the plus bleed amount received from Crimson Downpour. That's from Noble Obligation, and that's for the debuff from Target Whistle if I decide to use that. And then there's a few ways I could go about this. I could bring a Red Seal so I do damage versus marked, but she's not going to stay marked for long thinking about it if I'm going to use Target Whistle. And I would need another way of marking the target, which I don't think I realistically have. I could bring Memorial Ribbon so I have even less chance of getting crit, which might be the right play. And then once I do get below 50% health, I get a plus 8% crit chance. Or I could bring Training Ribbon so I get plus 5 accuracy and 10% protection per hero. I think Memorial Ribbons are going to be... Oh, I can only bring 2 of them. They're that powerful. I forgot that you can only bring 2 of them. Maybe I dip the Antivenoms and only bring a few of them, so I can bring more Memorial Ribbons. Because the thing is, if I get crit, whoever gets crit is going immediately from like full health, depending upon the hit, mind you, to Death's Door. And that's that. So I think this is the loadout I'm going to go with. You know, I probably don't need this many medicinal herbs, do I? I'll also bring the Training Ribbons for the plus accuracy, because she does have some decent dodge, and I don't have that many accuracy trinkets on me. And that's just going to help a little bit with the accuracy. And I mean protection, just so I don't get hit as hard. I think that's going to be the call. And she just has the Crimson Curse, so I don't need blood on me. And that way I can just go to the boss. Yeah. Okay. This is as good as we're going to get, I think. Let's go. Okay. So Memorial Ribbons on everyone. What this does is plus 8% crit chance if my heroes are below 50% health. And they take minus 8% crits received if they are above 50% health. I specifically want this for the minus crits received on me, because if I take a crit, I am screwed. Amphitheater for the minus movement resistance, also the minus crit stress received. I'm going to Anathenum for the plus debuff chance. And we're going to Training Ribbon for the plus accuracy. Those are the equivalent of my district buffs, for those of you curious what those are technically doing for me, like, other than the buffs.
Trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
So, I'm not getting my district bonuses, those are my district bonuses. Okay, we can do this. Hopefully I don't get any extra fights along the way. I just have to march down there. And we'll see what happens. We are going to get a little stress, which is unfortunate, but I think the camp is going to help with that. Especially for Gen there. There's a hunger check. And then I just have to get to this room and then go up. Probably should... I mean, I didn't really have the room, but I probably should have brought a blood so I could interact with some of the things on the way there. If I remember right, it's like a lot of shrews and stuff like that. Could have had a chance at some extra trinkets. Okay. Yeah, I gotta go all the way up through that. And I think all of these are shrews and such. We're gonna firewood here. Beast for the health and the stress.
A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
None of the prevent nighttime ambushes are going to help me specifically. So we'll just do the Houndmasters. Let's see, what do I want to do? I kind of want an Almanac on her. And that would give all of her bleed chances a 180. So I think all of her bleed chances would be guaranteed. Or if I did it on Robin, I would do a 177, which might be better. I think I want to do Inner Fire here for the plus crit, and that would be 4, leaving me with 6. And if I Almanacked, I would have 3. And what do I do with 3? I could do the Fast for plus speed, but she's already fast, so I think I would do Sharpen the Fang for the plus crit on Riposte. So yeah, let's do that, because Inner Fire, that gives me crit, that way I chew through the boss faster. This is all companion, so that's again included. I thought. Maybe not. If I Almanac, I give... Yeah, let's go for plus bleed chance on Robin. And then we Sharpen the Fangs for plus accuracy crit on the Riposte. We head up. Oh, don't interact with all of them, please. Okay. Trap. Houndmaster has a 90. And we'll go for the 80 on Gen, because a little bit of stress relief there. Boss time. So we're going to pop Holy Waters on everyone. We're going to pop the Cure. Look at all those buffs. So no longer has the Crimson Curse. 3 rounds of plus damage versus Bloodsuckers. We're going to pop the Torch. And we're as good as we're going to get. Let's go. Kind of nervous for this one.
The Countess arrives, anomalous in aspect, and bent on exacting terrible revenge from beyond the bounds of decency.
Oh, this is so cool of background. You can see the faces of various things in the back there. All the flies in the background. I love the art for it. So she has 400 health, 90 bleed resistance, 120 debuff resistance, 110 blight, and if you're going with stuns, 140 stun for now in this form. She has 30 protection, 25 dodge, and 4 speed. Monstrous Affliction. Crimson Downpour. Let's go. She's got the bleed amount received, but we didn't bleed her. What's the debuff here? Stress for 3 rounds. Yeah, that's fine. Fox Fang for the bleed. Got 5 on her. I'm gonna Inner Beast for the Riposte. It's not for long, but it's a thing. Of course she went for the Duchess there. Just looks like another polyp on her. The stumbles are fine. We're gonna Dog Treat here. And then actually all I'm gonna do is Hound Rush.
Impressive.
Bleeding for 13.
Well struck.
Love the Riposte. When these pop, it's gonna hurt. Okay, we're gonna Dark Flight transforming. So she's famished right now, I believe. So I can do plus damage received on her and hopefully get that off. Or I can do Noble Obligation, get some protection, and bleed her. Because my Crimson Downpour is already off. Let's do Noble Obligation. Maybe minus the damage she does. All plus damage received, yeah. Hound Rush. Bleeding for 10. Cure the bleed. Lovely. Don't want the Duchess in one, but Gen's probably going to be going first, so Foxfang.
A singular strike.
And now things get bad. Okay, that's where we want you. I'm gonna medicinal herb here to get rid of the debuff. Crimson Downpour to up bleed amount received. Hopefully bleeding. We did get a debuff. Go riposts. Celine, you got this. Usurp her. Come on. What's the debuff again? Minus speed, minus accuracy. Getting rid of that. Leader of the pack isn't going to do what I want, but if I go for the throat, we have armor piercing now. So let's go for the throat. A little bit of a heal. Crit heal, so way more than I wanted. Foxfang again.
Devastating blow.
11 bleed. She's back to this. We are going to guard dog Celine. Start dodge tanking that. Come on, bleed. Well, thankfully, I think I just Crimson Downpoured. So we're going to thirst for power for the bleed. None of it went off. Dark Flight. Damage versus bleeding. Dog Treat, Hound Rush. I thought I had one more round on that. Oh, lovely riposte there.
The blood quickens.
We are going to Foxfang that. Yikes, Picard's not in a good spot. Just need a little more on her before this goes very, very downhill. Picard, Anti-Venom. Hound Rush. 40 some health left to bleed on her. I don't want Celine going in one. Actually, that'll be fine because I have Feed the Beast, which does extra damage versus below 33% health. So we're going to go for the throat.
Powerful blow.
Feed the Beast. Take your crown.
Where I failed, you have succeeded. And the world is better for it.
I was kind of expecting something like, because she had a little bit of a clip or like a bark for the Viscount. Maybe I was blind and didn't see it, but I didn't see anything for the Countess. Kind of surprised. Got the Soul Companion for the Bowman, plus 20% debuff chance, 20% bleed and blight chance, plus 5 dodge. If I get the full set, plus 15% scouting and plus 15% monster surprise chance. Toy Soldier for the Man-at-Arms, plus 10 accuracy, plus 30 speed on the first round. Crush adds mark to target. And another blueprint. I think this is just a key. Yeah, the green key. So what I could do with the green key, the group is not in a position to do so. I want to get the right spot here. So if I went way down a path down this corridor here, it would loop down to like right here, and I could get another Crimson Court trinket chest, which would give me 1 to 2 more trinkets. But I would have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more fights with this group after fighting the Duchess, or the Countess. And once I leave, I can't come back to this. So you have to have a very good group for that. And with this estate, that's not something that, like, is... I mean, it could have been plausible, maybe. Or that no healing, no stunning, no stress healing restriction is... It would make it really hard. Like, I know if I would have brought the shovels, I could have gone up here to get a heal, and then maybe I could have gone and done it. But yikes. I think I've been able to pull that off all of once. And then, if you were feeling extra frisky, you could have actually done this before fighting the Countess. You could go this way and done the same loop. And there's another chest down here that says it's not a Crimson Court trinket, but it is a trinket chest. And if you go down here, past where we got the red key, actually, you need to go down here first to get the blue key using the green key to do that loop over here, like I said, for the Crimson Court trinket. But then you can continue going down, do another fight, get another curio, and then do a crocodilian as well. So you would have needed to fight the Countess before doing a crocodilian and then all that other stuff, which is a little ridiculous. But Celine beat the Countess, technically. I'm happy with that result. 33,000 gold, 10 flute in the Countess's fan, neither of which I'm likely to use. But we did get another blueprint and 96 crests. I thought that got a little sketchy in some situations. Robin got a disease and she has 2 quirks I need to rip off now. Tippler on Gen Greymane, which I do need to rip off. Quick Draw on Celine, which I really like. I'm going to lock that in. Fragile on Picard. Precise Striker and the Fit. So I'm going to be ripping off Fragile and the Fits. A lot of work to be doing. However,
Rusted, moss-covered gates of the courtyard hang open, but the demoniacal pests will spread no further than its blood-soaked boundaries. And so, at last, the end of my beginning.
Of curses and countesses. Waves of relief wash over the hamlet as the good news spread. The Countess is dead and her curse is now curable. Removes the Crimson Curse from all afflicted heroes. The Crimson Curse is now treatable at the Sanitarium. I no longer have to worry about that, and I no longer have to deal with it. So, Robin here is going to get rid of Dipsomania first. Gen is going to be getting rid of Tippler. And Picard is going to be getting rid of Fragile. Celine is going into stress relief. And from there, I think I'm good. Maybe I'm getting rid of Flagellant on Rex, because he got that. I can't get rid of that for now. At the Nomad Wagon, nothing I really want. Alright. Things are looking up. Nothing new in the courtyard. We're done in the courtyard. That is 3 areas now that we are done with. Oh boy. I'm kinda tempted to go and do the cove here for the Ancestor's Coat. I do know how sketchy this is though. I might do what I did last time, or like in the Sunward Isles, and do a very high dodge group and just see how that works out. I really would like to do the Marked by the Flock group, but not in a long. And that would almost max out the cove, I think. But this group worked really well last time. Like, really well. I could maybe trade out Finn for the Omen Seeker, because she can lower accuracy as well, but she gets the Ebbing Deck, which ups her dodge as well, so she can play into that same category. So I may try that. I just think that Finn fits the minus accuracy on them slightly better, but I don't know. But I think that's what I'm going to be trying next time, because I really would like that Ancestor's Coat. And there's no wandering bosses in the Cove, so it is a wonderful time to go try that out. So I think that'll be the plan for next time, going to the Cove, getting the Ancestor's Coat if I can, and hopefully not too many shenanigans happening. And then just being as safe as I can there, and we'll see realistically what happens. Because now that I don't have to deal with the Bloodsuckers, it's leveling up the Sunward Isles in the Cove, dealing with a few bosses, trying to lure a few bosses out of hiding, and then it's the Darkest Dungeon. Oh, and seeing if I can't do Night Parade and some very sketchy stuff in Farmstead Plus. But we're almost at the end game. Technically we are at the end game, I would say, but oh man, it feels good getting rid of the Countess. So, I suppose that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please, have a good one.